Right, so hi guys, I hope you all are well. A very exciting video today. Abu Dhabi's first ever, in the history of Abu Dhabi, you've got the first ever real estate market report that's just come in from the Abu Dhabi Real Estate Center. Let's dive deep into it. Lots of interesting stats and numbers and data. And it just proves one thing that we've been noticing lately. There's been some serious demand and growth with not enough supply to catch up with. First of all, we'll start off by why Abu Dhabi. What's the unique value that Abu Dhabi brings compared to other Emirates? And of course, the generic stuff, tax-free living. You've got 100% freehold ownership for foreigners. You've got golden visas for investors, for skilled professionals. You've got strong credit rating. You've got these investment zones. Now, what I really want to focus on here, is this ADGM. What's ADGM, right? What's ADGM? It's basically Abu Dhabi's financial district, Abu Dhabi Global Market, right? It is a financial free zone on Reem Island, on Al Mari Island, and it operates under English common law. In the last 2 years, ADGM has expanded by 14 million square meters, making it one of the world's largest financial districts, right? Why does this matter? Let me tell you guys. The percentage of registered firms, right, that are companies that have established operations here, that are running and working from here, has increased by 30% in the last 1 year. Assets under management increased by 250%. Now, this was really big, guys. Let me tell you what this means. This means high net worth individuals, family offices, wealthy professionals. They're choosing Abu Dhabi and ADGM in specific to manage this capital for them, to manage their assets, which reflects trust of these individuals in Abu Dhabi's economy and Abu Dhabi's institutions. And you've got 67% increase in the number of new companies that have established licenses or that have established operations in ADGM. So just like in Dubai, you've got DIFC. So this is Abu Dhabi's DIFC. Of course, you've got the economic drivers in Abu Dhabi already. 7.5% population growth. The population is now sitting at almost 4 million. Job growth, this is what I want to focus on. Job growth has exceeded by 9% in the last 1 year, with professional roles, the people who matter for real estate. Those roles have increased by 6.4%, right? This is very exciting. Just keep this figure in your mind. I'll come to it later in the video and it's going to make sense, just keep this figure in your mind, guys, 6.4%. And of course, you've seen a huge growth in non-oil GDP, 6.2% growth, and 250% growth. And of course, ADGM, Abu Dhabi's financial free zone, top 10 globally, and GDP per capita. Absolutely beautiful stuff, guys. And of course, Abu Dhabi's diversifying from oil reliance to sectors like space, advanced tech, trade and logistics, advanced manufacturing, renewable energy, tourism and hospitality, financial services. Abu Dhabi is investing in these sectors. Now, to summarize all of this up, I just call Abu Dhabi one thing. Abu Dhabi is the capital of capital. That's such a beautiful way to put it. Why? Abu Dhabi has these 6 institutions. These are sovereign government institutions which have capital. How much capital? $2 trillion in sovereign institutional capital. These are sovereign wealth funds. Mubadala, Abu Dhabi Investment Authority, Abu Dhabi Development Holding Company, G42 International Holding Company, IHC, and AGX. There's one man behind all of this, His Highness Sheikh Tahnoon. He's a legend. He's brought so much investment to Abu Dhabi. You guys can just Google his name and you're going to find out who Sheikh Tahnoon is. Massive respect to him. And of course, this capital is exactly why you've got firms like BlackRock, HSBC, Morgan Stanley, Apollo, AXA, AXA moving to Abu Dhabi. They've established operations already, right, to have access to this capital. And of course, you've got the Abu Dhabi Stock Exchange, which is globally a top 20 stock exchange. Now, these are the economic drivers. This is what matters. This is where the demand is coming from. And this reflects the real estate growth we've seen in Abu Dhabi in the last 1 year and in the last 2 years in specific. Let's move on. Of course, Abu Dhabi, safest city in the world for the last 9 years in a row. Uh, it's been declared the most livable city in the Middle East region, and it's going to become the first ever city in Middle East, I believe, to become fully AI native. So, citizen welfare, improving accesses for residents and citizens, of course. And we've got world-class education and healthcare. You've got universities like Sorbonne University. You've got MBZ University of Artificial Intelligence. You've got New York University in Hudayriyat Island. You've got Cleveland Clinic in Reem. You've got Sheikh Boot Medical City, Sheikh Khalifa Medical City. You've got Indian schools, American schools, British schools, French schools. I've personally been to one of them. You've got curriculum from all across the world, and some of the best beaches, deserts, islands. There are more than 200 islands in Abu Dhabi. Some of the most bluest, greenest beaches you're ever going to find anywhere in the world. I say this with confidence. As beautiful as Maldives and Bali, right? Just take a drive to Abu Dhabi someday. This is the exact color of water you guys are going to find. And the mangroves. Oh my God, I can go on about Abu Dhabi all day long. And of course, you've got the cultural district, Saadiyat Island, the museums. And you've got theme parks, Ferrari World, Yas Marina Circuit, golf courses, SeaWorld, Warner Brothers, Disneyland, Disney Abu Dhabi is coming as well. We've got the Abu Dhabi Sphere, which is also coming up soon. Now let's move in. With that out of the way, let's move into residential supply and demand. What actually matters for us? Oh, this is absolutely amazing. So in the last 3 years, the total residential supply grew by just 2.6%. Just by 2.6%. And demand, it grew by 6% in the last 2 years alone. You've got 2.6% supply, 6% demand, right? Absolutely beautiful stuff, right? Okay, do you guys remember that figure of 6.4% increase in professional job roles? So do you guys imagine now, you've got 2.6% increase in supply, and you've simply not got enough supply to meet the demand and to meet the increasing job roles, the number of executives, professionals, skilled talent moving to Abu Dhabi. Insane. Okay, let's move on. What's been the growth? In the last 1 year alone, not 3 years, 1 year alone, 14% increase in the apartment sale prices and 11% increase in villa and townhouse prices. Right, guys? And this for rentals. Very, very interesting stuff. So there was a 71% increase in the number of occupied units in Abu Dhabi. And these were located in, a couple of key zones in Abu Dhabi for rentals. You've got Reem Island, you've got Saadiyat Island, you've got Yas Island, the areas you guys already know for rentals. And rental units now, they comprise of almost 70% of total occupied units. What that means is there are more tenants living in these units than owners. Something we do not necessarily see in Dubai, because in Dubai you've got a lot of investors who prefer. Let me make this easy. If you drive down to, let's say, Shobha Heartland, if you drive down to, Dubai Hills, JVC, you're going to find a lot of these empty apartments, and you might wonder, who are the people buying and renting these apartments? Are people even making money on these? Yes, they are. These are investment units, right? These are not necessarily end-use units. In Abu Dhabi, it's the opposite. In Abu Dhabi, you've got 70% of the apartments and units are occupied by tenants. So you're not going to find a lot of empty buildings, as we call it, right? And you've only got 30% of these units where owners themselves have bought to live in. That reflects a very strong rental demand and use demand. People are choosing Abu Dhabi to live in. Of course, 83% occupancy in apartments in these investment zones. That shows you the strong rental demand, and 65%, and in the villas and townhouse segments, 65% of them are occupied by owners themselves, which shows you a preference that, okay, if someone's putting down 5-10 million dirhams in a townhouse or in a villa, they would much rather prefer living in it themselves than renting it out, which of course works either ways. You're going to see a lot of to appreciation in villas and townhouses. But generally, tenant-occupied units are almost 2.3% higher than owner-occupied units. The rental demand absolutely strong in Abu Dhabi. Let's move on. Now, in the next 3 years, let's come towards the future, right? The future supply. In the next 3 years, supply is expected to grow by 4.5% annually, right? Which means we're going to be getting just around 25,000 new units to come into supply between 2025 and 2028, right? 25,000, including apartments, villas, and townhouses, by the way. And if we move towards the demand, if we go back towards the demand, right? What's the demand? You're going to have a demand of 6% year on year. So you've got 4.6% supply coming in, you've got 6% demand coming in, and you've got 6.3% increase in professional job roles. And these are people who are going to be renting, living, or buying here in Abu Dhabi long term. These are not tourists or influencers. Let's move on. Now, the big question, where should I buy if I want to invest in Abu Dhabi for the next 3-4 years? Very good. Every agent you're going to speak to most probably is going to push you, for two areas: Yas Island or Saadiyat Island, right? If we could show you guys over here, Saadiyat Island over here. Which, don't get me wrong, these are of course proven locations. This is where you've got some of the most you've got the theme parks, museums, etc. But in terms of supply and demand, do you guys know that Yas Island, in the whole of Abu Dhabi, Yas Island will be receiving the highest supply in the next 3 years, 10,000 units, the highest anywhere in Abu Dhabi, in any district. What does that tell me, right? So if I have an apartment or a townhouse or a villa, let's focus on apartments. If I'm an apartment investor, by completion, by handover in 2028, 29, how many more apartments are going to be there in the market competing with me? You can have almost 10,000 apartments coming into supply, right? Gardenia Bay alone, which is one of Aldar's projects, very lovely project, you've got 15 buildings there. Those buildings are handing over by 27, 28. So if you're buying an off-plan on Yas Island apartment, just imagine the competition you're going to face. And we just had the launch of Yas Living yesterday on 2nd of October, and I did not advise it to my clients. Sure, it's going to appreciate, but it's not going to be the best value for money. Don't get me wrong. I told my client, let's wait for better launches, better prices per square foot. Let's invest in a different district. So we did not go ahead with Yas Island. So Yas is not going to make you significant money in the next 3-4 years. Do not, just be careful about that, right? Okay. The second area where you're going to get the highest supply in Abu Dhabi is going to be Saadiyat Island. Now, Saadiyat, there are two key, you're going to get almost 5,000 units coming in Saadiyat Island. Of course, now let me break down to you guys here. Saadiyat is very interesting. So you've got 4 districts in Saadiyat. You've got the cultural district where the museums are, right? The Louvre Museum and the Zad Museum, Guggenheim, etc. You've got the beach district over here. This area of Saadiyat is already developed. The appreciation has played out. It's appreciated. It's full. All of the projects they're close to handovers. They're handing over by next year or in the next 1 to 2 years. It's done for, right? The appreciation has happened. Now, if I'm an investor and if I'm looking to invest in Saadiyat, and okay, by the way, this is the Lagoon district, the Saadiyat Lagoons. These villas are also almost ready, handing over by next year. Appreciation has occurred. So all 3 districts of Saadiyat, they've appreciated, they've matured. There's one district which is still left. It's this one, Saadiyat Marina district. So this is where I'm placing my money on for the next 3 years in Saadiyat, for the next 3-4 years. This is the only district in Saadiyat I would be buying an apartment or a villa in. Right. If I could just show you guys on the map. So, and why is that so? Of course, this is the cultural district, fully built out, appreciated. Beach district with the villas and townhouses, built out, matured, appreciated. The Saadiyat Lagoon district, as you can see, villas almost ready. They're going to be delivering next year. They've already appreciated and matured. This empty piece of land, Saadiyat Marina district, this is the next phase of development for Saadiyat. No projects have been announced yet. They're going to be announced most likely by next year in 2026 by Aldar, I believe. I'm going to be very excited if Aldar announces something this year. I don't think so, but we don't know. So this is the next master plan of South Saadiyat Island, the Saadiyat Marina District, right? Very, very prime real estate. And of course, you've got the New York University as well over here. And you've also got schools, the American Community School, and you've got the Cranley schools as well. So, it's already an established community. You've got bakeries, cafes over here. I personally love going to one of the cafes over here to Mesk. There's also a blacksmith, yes. So this piece of land in Saadiyat, this is the only piece of land you should ask your agent and broker to focus on. Particularly something that comes up in this area, beach facing. Close your eyes and buy it, guys. Right? Even if you're watching this video in 2026, this piece of land is where you should be buying on Saadiyat. Prices will, of course, be high. They're going to be, a higher price per square foot, not something necessarily affordable. But yes, this is the only place in Saadiyat to buy. Let's move on. Sorry, guys, I took a bit of time on that one. So Saadiyat and Yas, we're clear about that, right? Now, I want to highlight Reem Island for apartments. You're only going to get 5,000 apartments. And villas and townhouses coming to, there's no villas, but townhouses and apartments coming to Reem in the next 3 years. Now, Reem is where I've advised my clients to invest in for apartments. Why? First of all, cheap entry point. You can get apartments, one-bed apartments in Reem for about 1.1 to 1.5 million dirhams. Good payment plans, 50-50, 40-60, 55-45, or 60-40. Very flexible. And you've got some of the top developers, even developers from Dubai now, such as Object One, Shoba. They've been rumored they're launching in Reem Island. So that just tells you, how good of an entry point Reem is. So this is a good budget starting point for an apartment investor in Abu Dhabi, Reem Island. And of course, the whole Reem Island is now covered under ADGM, Abu Dhabi Global Markets jurisdiction. So it's becoming more of an exclusive prime real estate. Just like in London, you've got City of London, right? Very exclusive prime real estate. In Dubai, you've got DIFC. Just look at what's happened to the prices in the IFC in the last 2-3 years. Very prime real estate. So Reem Island for apartments all day, any day. And finally, guys, where should you buy? I've posted, I think, 3, 4, 5 videos on this location in Abu Dhabi. My favorite of all, Hudayriyat Island. You're only getting 800 units, including apartments, villas, and townhouses, in the next 3 years on Hudayriyat Island. The lowest supply in any district on Abu Dhabi. And the demand for this island, it's been insane. It's been insane. If I could just show you guys over here quickly. Sorry for jumping around, guys. If I could just show you guys over here. Yes, this. So these are the top 10 projects in 2024 that comprised more than 50% of the sale value, right? Top 10 projects in Abu Dhabi in 2024. What do you guys see? Hudayriat Island. Almost 3.5 billion dirhams of real estate was sold last year in Hudayriat Island. One of the top 10 projects in Abu Dhabi. Of course, the rest of them, you've got Dream Hills, already appreciated, standing over. You've got a couple of apartment projects in Yas Island and Saadiyat. Do you guys look at... Oh my God, I just noticed something right now in the video. Hudayriat was the second most highest sold project in 2024 after Saadiyat Lagoons. 3.5 billion dirhams of real estate was sold in Hudayriat Island, right? You guys may not have even heard of this island. And the demand for it is insane. It's insane. Guess what? In 2025, once again, Hudayriat Island has had it's been the highest transacting area in 2025. More than 50% of the sales in 2025, the first half, have come from Hudayriat Island alone, 2.4 billion dirhams. Saadiyat, yes, they've all been trailing behind Hudayriat. So what does that tell you? It just tells you one thing. You've got the lowest supply of the 3 islands of Saadiyat, Yas, the lowest supply coming to Hudayriat, and you've got the highest demand transactions, resale transactions happening on Hudayriat Island. Just look at the size. Just look at the size of this. Just imagine the scarcity that's coming to Hudayriat. I've personally got clients who I've made 4 videos on this island for a reason, guys. I'm going to make 1 more video on this island. If you're looking for a villa or a townhouse or an apartment or a plot, just get a piece of Hudayriat. Just keep it with yourself for the next 2-3 years. You're going to thank yourself and then you're going to thank me later. An absolute no-brainer of an investment. Let me show you guys quickly the master plan of the area. Guys, and just speaking about the prices roughly, I've made separate videos on it. Let's not confuse. You guys can watch some of my previous videos. You're going to get a better idea of Hudayriat Island. So let's quickly look at the master plan for Hudayriat Island. So this is the entire Hudayriat Island over here. Right, guys. So this is the master plan of Hudayriat Island. As you guys can see, it's almost as long as Abu Dhabi's main island. And what I really want to focus on here, there's not a Hudayriat video, I'm just telling you guys what's there. So these are the 2 hills, the east and west hills, fully sold out almost. You've still got a couple of 4-5 bed villas, that's 10 million dirhams. You had the first and the only apartment community right here in the Wife Park Views, fully sold out already, 2.1, 2.2 million dirhams for 1 bed apartments. You had the first and only townhouse community in the Wife Village, very exclusive, fully sold out. Then you had these Bashire villas, sea facing, starting from 6 million, fully sold out. Then you had these plots, the Wadim community, plots are fully sold out. And right now the only availability left is in the Nasim community for 4, 5 and 6 bedroom villas. And of course, there are going to be future launches. They're going to launch this hill, the 3rd hill. I believe it's probably launching in the coming months, maybe by 2026. Going to be insane demand. You're going to have views of the sea from all directions. So this is the master plan of Hudayriat Island. And I don't think you've got this many amenities and sporting facilities anywhere in any island in Abu Dhabi as much as you do in Hudayriat Island. You've got a sports hotel, you've got Surf Abu Dhabi, the largest wave pool, you've got a glamping resort, you've got sporting facility 321 sports, you've got a cycling track, you've got Velodrome Abu Dhabi, UAE's first velodrome, right? You're going to have equestrian courses, you're going to have golf courses. This side is yet to be developed. And then this is where the Bulgaria Island is also coming in, right? Super exclusive prime real estate. And by the way, guys, you're not buying in some random island. This entire strip over here, this is called Bateen. This area is called Al Bateen. And this area is home to the royal families of Abu Dhabi, the locals, the Emiratis, the sheikhs. So this is where the old money or the wealthy money prefers living, this area, Al Bateen. All the way until here, you've got palaces. Just look on Google Maps. So this is, so if you're from London, in London you've got Belgravia, right? Bateen is basically the Belgravia of Abu Dhabi. That's the best way to put it. So that was Hudayriat Island. Guys, absolute no-brainer. Just get in touch with me for future launches. Let's get something for you guys here. This island is going to make the most money in the next 2-3 years, right? Okay. For an affordable entry point, for an affordable villa townhouse community, you have to look at this area, Zayed City. You've got only 2,000, 3,000 units coming up, townhouses and villas. And this area is also going to be having the embassies of Abu Dhabi relocating here. And you're going to be having some of the ministries' offices that are going to be shifting to Zayed City, sort of like the administrative capital. And you've got a very lovely community coming here, Bloom Living. You can get townhouses here, 2 BHKs, 3 BHKs from around 2 million, 1.8 to 2 million, 2.5 million. And you can get villas all the way from 3.5 to 4 million dirhams. So this is more of an affordable villa townhouse segment. We've seen some insane growth in Zayed City. And of course, over here, you've also got Masdar City. It's not highlighted yet, but Masdar City is also going to be having the AI city of Abu Dhabi. And for apartments particularly, if I can just show you guys on the map. So Masdar City is coming up right next to the airport over here. So this is Masdar City. Again, it's right next to E10, which is the Sheikh Zayed Highway, the Sheikh Highway connecting Abu Dhabi to Dubai. Again, Masdar, you already have Siemens offices here. You've got the technology institute. So this is where the AI city is going to be coming up. And we do have some exciting launches in Masdar right now and coming up in the next 1 month. Masdar city is also one of the prime areas. You've already got schools. You've also got a mall in Masdar city center Masdar. So it's an established community, right? You can get an affordable an affordable apartment in Masdar city. So guys, just to summarize, Saadiyat Marina District, Hudayriyat Island, Zayed City, Masdar City, Reem Island. These 5 areas are where you should be focusing on. And if you're in the luxury villa category, if you want something super exclusive, you've got 10, 15 million dirhams with you. These 2 islands, Ramhan and Jubail, you've only got 770 villas and townhouses, and Jubail 900 units coming up in the next 3 years. Very exclusive real estate for villas only. High ticket prices. So if you're one of the luxury villa buyers, look at this island. But Yas, I'm not personally advising any of my clients to look on Yas Island. So yeah, I hope that's clear. That's out of the way. Let's top developers in Abu Dhabi, if that helps. I don't know. We've got Aldar with the largest market share. Then you've got Mudan, which is again a government-backed developer. Mudan is the developer behind Hudayriyat Island. Then you've got Bloom Living. Bloom is developing Zayed City. And then you've got Radiant. Radiant are one of the leading developers in Reem Island. And then you've got a couple of other ones, Eagle Hills, Lead. They're developing the Ramhan Island and the Bulgari Island in Abu Dhabi. Right, so transactions, if we move to transactions have increased by 42% compared to the same period last year, 42% increase in real estate sales transactions. And if we just move in just a moment, guys. The values, yes. So the increase in values, it's increased by 38% over the same period in 2024 last year. Sale values. And if we move to something going for who's buying in Abu Dhabi, the main question, right? Resident foreigners and non-resident foreigners, right? So there's been an increase of 4%, 4x increase in foreigners buying in Abu Dhabi, and 80% of residential sales in the last 4 years, from 2019 to 2024, it was from foreign residents and from foreign non-residents. What does that tell me? People from all over the world, from different nationalities, are choosing Abu Dhabi. It's not just Indians or British or Russians. Something we do see in Dubai. You've got Indians, you've got British, you've got Russians, you've got Jordanians, you've got Egyptians, you've got Syrians, you've got Canadians, French, Pakistanis, and Americans. These are the top 10 nationalities, resident people who are buying in Abu Dhabi. The non-resident people buying in Abu Dhabi are following: Germans, Chinese, French, Kazakhstanis, very interesting, I did not expect them, Azerbaijan, very interesting nationalities. You do not see this in Dubai. So the real estate here is driven from every part of the globe pretty much. You've got Africa, you've got Americas, you've got Central Asia, you've got Europe, South Asia, a very diverse pool. And of course, if we move towards, as I said, guys, as I keep on saying, these are the main districts where majority of the residential sales happen: Zayed City, Jubail Island, Hudayriat, Reem Island, Yas and Saadiyat. So yeah, top projects, as we already went over these, and 80% of the transactions were conducted in cash. What does that mean? People see a good unit, they want to move quick. They do not want to take months or weeks deciding, because they know anything in Abu Dhabi they touch is pretty much gold. And of course, we've already gone over this. Something very interesting, guys. In Dubai nowadays, everything is being branded as luxury, right? The word luxury, it's used around, it's thrown around. In Abu Dhabi, there's a real opportunity for investors to make money in the affordable, in the mid-market segment. So 57% of the sales in apartments were in the luxury apartment category. That means you've got an opportunity at the mid-market luxury segment, affordable luxury, something in Dubai which Ben Ghati is doing really amazing, affordable apartments, luxury apartments. And Abu Dhabi right now, Aldar did get a feedback that their ticket sizes have increased. They've only been launching high ticket projects, right? And the Aldar CEO has taken note of this, and Aldar is expected to launch some affordable projects coming up. So there is a huge opportunity in the mid-tier segment in Abu Dhabi compared to the luxury apartment segment. And of course, if we, yeah, and for the townhouses and villas, there is a demand for luxury. So to summarize, if you're buying an apartment, buy a mid-market apartment. I'm not saying go and buy a 2 million apartment, one bedroom apartment that's being sold for 2.5 million. No, you're not going to make money on that. Instead, buy a one-bed apartment at 1.5, 1.6. That's where you're going to see real growth, right? A mid-market product. If you're buying a villa, do not buy a mid-market villa, because 70% of the sales for villas were in the affordable, in the mid segment, in the mid-market segment, which means there's a lot of demand for luxury villas and townhouses. You do not have them, right? Any villas, existing villas or townhouses in Abu Dhabi, they're older. They've been established a couple of years back. So there is a huge opportunity in the luxury villa segment in Abu Dhabi, which is why Hudayriyat Island is leading. You guys can keep watching my videos on Hudayriyat. So finally, if we move on to rentals, residential leases, rental values have increased by 6% year on year, almost 2x. And there's been insane demand for rentals. Even for townhouses and villas, rental values have increased by 7%. And if we move to so rentals have increased by 21% in value for apartments since 2023. You've seen a 2x faster growth in apartment rentals compared to villas. So basically, if you're an investor who wants something ready to rent it out, go with an apartment. Easier to rent out, faster increase in rents. Villas, of course, for rentals, not the best product, but for appreciation, villas all day, any day, every day. And if we move over here, so yeah, 41% of the rentals in Abu Dhabi are coming from these 5 areas. Al Reem Island is there, as we already spoke. And 43% of luxury apartments are in Saadiyat and Yas Island. So guys, there's no point if you guys are just buying another branded residence on Saadiyat or on Yas. You're not going to make much money, realistically speaking. Don't do that. So yeah, guys, that was it for the real estate report. I hope this was a helpful video. As always, guys, just drop me a message on my WhatsApp. Let's pick the perfect investment product for you guys, and let's make you some money and choose the perfect product. Of course, generally speaking, the final verdict, Hudayriyat Island leads. Lowest supply, highest demand for Hudayriyat, followed by Reem Island and Saadiyat Marina District, as well as Masdar City and Zayed City. These 5 areas poised to grow in the next 3-4 years. Just reach out to me, guys, anytime, and let's pick the perfect product for you.